Hey guys, it's Danny, and today I am going to show you how to restore, season, and clean your cast iron skillet. Now, a cast iron skillet is a great tool for any healthy home cook. They're an easy way of working more iron into your diet. Studies show that when you cook in cast iron, you'll get up to 7 times more iron in your food than if you were cooking with glass. When they're seasoned properly, they're naturally non-stick. They're virtually indestructible, inexpensive, and they easily transfer from stovetop into the oven. And contrary to what you may have heard, they're actually very easy to take care of. So let's start with restoring a cast iron skillet. If you have a pan that has been unseasoned for a long time, or if it got wet and then was left alone, there's a good chance that it will develop some rust on the pan. Just like mine has here. You can see there's rust a little bit around the edges. So restoring the pan is gonna make your pan look brand new. And do know, while my pan only has a little bit of rust on it, this process would work even if you had a pan that you thought was so beat up that it was like unfixable. It's amazing how this process will take your pan from beat up to brand new. So you've got 2 choices to start off with. You can either do this with a steel wool or with some kosher salt. So if you're working with a steel wool, you're just gonna wet it. You could even add a little bit of dish soap to it, and then just begin working in a circular motion throughout the pan, and you're gonna see that the rust and any little bits come right off of the pan. If you were gonna do this with kosher salt, you would just sprinkle 1 or 2 tablespoons of the salt in the bottom of the pan, grab a damp cloth, and do the same thing. Just work around in a circular motion, and you see that this works as an abrasive. It's a gentle abrasive, and it gently cleans the pan. It pulls all the little bits and the rust up off of the pan. Now, once you have removed the rust and the bits, you're just gonna rinse your pan under some water and wash it down. Again, using just a little bit of dish soap at this point is perfectly fine. You may or may not want to use it, but just know that either way, you can't go wrong. Give it a good rinse under the water, get all the soap off, and then we're gonna wipe the pan dry. Now, you should be able to get your pan nice and dry simply by wiping it down with a dish towel, but another option is to pop the wet pan over a medium burner until all of the water evaporates off the pan. Both roads lead to Rome. Next, we need to season the pan. Now, seasoning your cast iron skillet simply means that we are baking a thin layer of oil into the pan to create a hard, glossy, naturally non-stick surface. So you wanna grab any type of cooking oil you have on hand, okay? This could be canola oil, flaxseed oil, coconut oil, they all work, right? And then just begin by wiping a thin layer all over the pan. The bottom, the top, the handles, the sides. You really wanna get all of the cast iron skillet because a cast iron skillet is all one piece. So you wanna coat the whole thing. Once I've got it coated, I just like to take my paper towel and go over the whole thing one more time. Just wipe up any excess oil that's on the pan. Your cast iron skillet is actually porous, so all of that oil actually gets absorbed right into the pan, and anything that's on the surface, we can just wipe right off. From here, we're gonna seal the deal. You wanna place your cast iron skillet in a 450 to 500 degree oven upside down for 1 hour. Now, I like to place a rimmed baking sheet on the shelf right below it. This way, if any of the excess oil drips off, it's not dripping into my oven. And then after the hour, you just shut the heat off and let it completely cool while it's still in the oven. This final step seals the oil right into the pan and creates a naturally non-stick surface, AKA a well-seasoned pan. Once you've done the initial seasoning on your pan, the day-to-day care is even easier. So I find the easiest way to clean a cast iron skillet after you've cooked in it is to clean it while it is still hot to warm. So once you're done cooking, you serve up your food, and then you take that skillet and you bring it right over to the sink and you just run it under some water and wash it down with a sponge. I like to use the scrubby side of a sponge. And again, using a little bit of dish soap here is perfectly fine. You do want to make sure that you don't take the pan when it's screaming hot, like fresh off the oven, because then you run the risk of cracking your pan. But you do want it to be hot to warm because it makes it a lot easier to get any bits off the bottom of the pan. So go ahead and wash that until your pan is clean, and then all we're gonna do is towel dry the pan again. Once it's dry, we put a nice thin layer of oil all around the pan just like we did before. Coat the whole thing, wipe off any excess, and the pan is ready to roll. And my friends, that is really all you need to know to care for your cast iron skillet. I'm telling you, these skillets will last you a lifetime, and they're just a great tool to have in the kitchen. So I'm gonna leave a link down in the description box below showing you the cast iron skillet that I have and would totally recommend to you as well. And I will also link to a couple cast iron skillet recipes that I have as well. And what I would love for you to do is to take a moment, if you haven't already, and subscribe, like, and share this video with anybody else you know who wants to make healthy eating easy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Danny Spies, and I'll see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers! Studies show that cooking in cast iron results in up to 7 times more iron than if you were to cook in glass. They are